All right, ladies and gentlemen, but mostly ladies. Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, it's a lot of you ladies watching this, though. I'm not gonna lie. I support all my ladies out there just to start this off. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna get this straight to you guys. Now, we have the cross examination by the prosecutor with Murdaugh's friend and partner here. But this is basically we're playing hardball now because all those other questions were vanilla soft questions to make Murdaugh look good as best as possible. Honestly, I didn't see it, but now we're going into prosecution. Let's get it.
Good morning, Mr. Crosby.
Good morning.
Just want to go over a few things.
Honestly, forgot his name, Mr. Crosby. Let's go.
Very quickly in reply to some of the defense case. And the first thing I want to ask you is, you had previously testified about your close relationship with Paul, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
All right. And over the years, did you ever have call to ride around the property with Paul, yours or his?
I'm sure he did.
More on my property, but some on one or more occasions at Moselle as well.
You heard prior testimony that you don't go around looking for hogs in the daytime because they're nocturnal from the defendant, did you not? Or are you familiar that that was what was said?
Objection, Your Honor, if it's based on what he's heard or seen. I mean, is this a comment?
Look at Murdaugh, guys. He looks pale. This thing's a little close. He looks pale as shit. Look at him. Damn. He must, I don't know, he must be stressing in there.
It's made to him, or if we're going to delve into the appropriate way to hunt hogs day or night. I mean, this is not proper Rule 5. I object.
Overruled, bro. Sit your ass down.
Yeah, if you don't mind asking a question again.
Sure. All right. First question is, have you gone riding around the property with your property or the Moselle property with Paul before?
I have.
All right. And what, if anything, would y'all carry when you would go riding the property?
A 300 blackout. Watch it. I mean, if he's truthful. Or revolvers. I'll give them pistols, or we take the 300, you know, in case we see some hogs.
I believe the only time I rode with Paul was would have been looking for hogs, and more so on my property.
All right. And what, if anything, would you carry when y'all were looking for hogs?
Your Honor, riding with Paul on his property, not Moselle.
Objection's overruled.
Sit your fat ass down, bro. No, nah, he's not even fat. I'm just being mean. Sit your ass down, bro. Come on now. Like,
People who have hogs on their property, as a general rule, you would always take a rifle with you, be it day or night, because you never know when you're going to see hogs, and because they are such a nuisance, as I spoke to earlier in my testimony, you always want to be prepared to shoot them. So you would generally have some type of rifle and we with you, a long gun.
Your Honor, he's giving an opinion. He's not been qualified as an expert.
Objection's overruled.
why did he try to respond to that? Shut up, bro. I don't know why he got so... It's like he got butthurt. Hold on, back it up. He got butthurt. He was like, I know enough.
Not been qualified as an expert.
Objection's overruled.
My qualifications far outsuit any expert. I bet you he was about to go on a tangent right now.
All right.
I like how he just shut his...
plenty of experience
I like how he just shut his mouth and smiled. That's the best thing to do. Mature man.
in killing hogs on your property?
Yes, I would disagree with Mr. Harpootly, and I am pretty much an expert about killing hogs.
All right. And you've had plenty of opportunity to go hunting with Paul.
Objection, Your Honor. I apologize
What did I tell you, bro? What did I tell you? He held his tongue. I love it.
to the witness.
And you've had plenty of opportunity to go hunting with Paul or have him hunt on your property?
Yeah, yes, I've been with him, and he's been on my property many more times. I didn't go with him every time he was on my property, but that's the general rule, that you would have a rifle of some sort. Paul, as this jury's been told over and over, was fond of that 300 blackout. I've been with him while he had it.
So he was carrying it.
I used some other type of AR-framed gun to shoot hogs.
A 223?
Well, 223 or 6.5 Creedmoor, which is on a AR-10 frame.
He was like, I'm basically an expert at hunting hogs. Don't play with my knowledge. Don't play with my knowledge, boy.
Is it common, though, to carry your rifle and look for hogs in the daytime and to see hogs in the daytime?
Yes. You don't always see them. Sometimes night's better if you're using a night vision scope, but I've killed hundreds of hogs in the daytime riding. It's just something because there's such a nuisance in the low country and really across the state right now and across the South that we have a rule that you don't ride the property without a rifle because you want to try to eliminate as many hogs as you can, and we also trap.
That's kind of crazy how they just kill hogs at that rate. There's got to be like, damn, it's like, just kill them all. That's the mentality. They must reproduce really fast or something. Hogs, damn.
To your observation, did Alec have a good relationship with the local law enforcement community?
Of course he did.
My observation was Alex had a very good relationship with, probably better than the rest of us, saving his father.
Did you on multiple occasions go over in great detail Alec's original story as to what he did on the night of the murders?
On more than one occasion, we discussed his story as I testified to, I don't know how many weeks ago that was, but it was a while.
And what, if anything, did the defendant tell you about whether or not he checked Paul and Maggie before calling 911?
My understanding of what he told me was that he checked them before he called 911.
And was he clear on that point to you?
That was clear to me.
Okay, so he was sticking with that story the whole time. What's crazy to me is why the fuck would you say that? Your hands would be covered in blood. I mean, again, we don't want to get into, let's get into the detail. They were leaking everywhere. So you're just going to check their pulse with brain all over the floor in the corner. Like, why say that? Oh my God, I saw them. They were dead. I panicked. I called you. No, I checked their pulse. Oh my God, I checked their pulse. I don't see why lie about that. You know what I mean?
When was the first time you've heard the defendant's latest story admitting that he was in fact at the kennels minutes before the victims were killed?
I haven't watched all of this trial like a lot of people have, but when I heard that Alec was taking the stand, I believe it was last Thursday, I did set up my workstation so that I could watch his testimony, and it would have been when he told you that he was at the kennels was the first time that I'd ever heard that.
Did
Damn.
Alec ever tell you that he thought...
So he told the lie to all of his friends, like, oh yeah, I went to my mom's and this and that, and I came back, and oh my God, everybody's dead. So remember, he changed the story later on. He said that, yeah, he went to the kennels for a second.
Did you ever have a conversation with the defendant about Barrett Boulware needing money because of his illness? Can you tell us about that conversation, please, Mr. Crosby?
Yes. And if my year's wrong, but I believe, because I didn't know exactly what you were going to ask me, and I can go back and look at documents, but I'm sure it's in one of these exhibits when that occurred, the materials that Ms. Seckinger put in. I believe in June of 2018, Barrett, who was a good friend of Alec's, a lot closer to me. I think they were, in my perception, very close friends. But I had become friends with him and had done a couple of real estate transactions with him. That summer, I received a call from his son-in-law. Barrett was in the Mayo Clinic with stage 4 colon cancer.
I love his reaction.
I do know for a fact that he was in the Mayo Clinic being treated for stage 4 colon cancer, and I received a call as to whether I could help Barrett financially.
Honor, hearsay, a call.
Objection's overruled.
So basically, Alex, I don't even know why this I don't even know why this pertains to anything, but basically he stole money from his dying best friend because he basically owed him money anyway. That's actually pretty wild. That adds another layer of just darkness to my guy right here.
Because his wife did not have enough money to stay. Barrett had some waterfront lots.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay. All this material came from somebody else.
The objection overruled.
I do
Overruled.
know this from firsthand knowledge, Mr. Waters. I had already bought a lot from him, but anyway, he had a lot that he asked if I would buy so that they would have money to be able to, for his wife to stay down in Jacksonville while he was receiving cancer treatments. And I had a conversation with Alec about that.
Tell us about the conversation you had with Alec about that, please.
I just told him, man, it's bad. You know, Barrett's looks like he's going to die, and he did die in September of that year.
Damn.
And he acknowledged it, and he said that it was good what I was doing for Barrett because he knew that he was in bad financial shape and obviously bad health.
And you're obviously a member of this law firm, and your review of the records as all of this came to light, did that conversation take place around the time that the defendant was stealing some of Barrett's money?
Yes, through this investigation that y'all have heard about into the financial.
So he literally was stealing money from Barrett. That is crazy to me. But I guess he's like, literally what he said, and I know for a fact he said this. What he said is that, oh, he's dying. What is he going to need it for? Literally, that was the end of that. And he justified it that way. I promise you.
Stuff starting in early September of 2021, we started going through a lot of files, and as part of that process, somewhere I determined that in June of 2018, I believe, and I can't tell you the exact figure, but I believe it was a $70-something thousand insurance check that came to the firm on behalf of Mr. Boulware that didn't go through the firm. It was just Alec took it that same month that we had that conversation.
Wow.
And then later there was some more money taken after he died.
Bro, this guy is a demon. Bro, like, okay, so his conscience doesn't exist anymore. Like, he'll do anything to fit his story. You feel me? Like, his friend was dying. He had this conversation with another friend, and he acknowledged, like, hey, that's good shit, bro. You're helping him out, man. Man, I love you, bro. That's what's up. Yes, sir. Let me take $70K real quick since he's helping them out. He stole $70,000, bro. Then after he died, he stole some more. Cold-blooded. Just pray your friends aren't like that in the long run, okay? You know, 20 years down the road, think about what your best friend is right now, and really think if they're really down for you, because shit like this is crazy to me.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 575. States 575. See if you recognize that.
Is that David? Is that one of the sled agents?
Do you not recognize him?
Is that David Williams?
Well, I'm asking you.
I believe that's David Williams.
Okay. Your Honor, this time I'd offer States 575 in evidence.
Objection, relevance.
What is the relevance?
Your Honor, the defendant specifically testified that when he had that initial interview with David Owen on June 8th, as he manufactured his decision to lie about such a crucial fact, it was because he thought that David Williams was the guy interviewing him. This is simply a picture of David Williams.
David Williams looks a lot different from Mr. Owen. I'll tell you that much. The white hair kind of gives it away.
We can assess the legitimacy of that claim.
Your Honor, I object. He Never, ever said David Williams. He said David.
Look at Dr. Kinsey in the back shaking his head like, yep. This don't make sense, Your Honor. Look at them all in the back. They're like characters in the movie, but it's like real life. This shit is wild.
That's the record.
Objection.
Never said it was that guy.
It's admitted over objection.
Who is that?
That's who you recognize as David Williams?
Yes, I didn't know him. I got to know him through this investigation, and I do believe he was the agent that was involved in the case with Chief Greg Alexander that was referenced.
Clearly not David Owen, though, correct?
No.
Well, that's not David Owen.
Well, that's not David Owen.
Have you ever tried cases with Ellick?
I handled a lot of cases with Ellick. I believe the only case I tried to jury with Ellick was actually here in this courtroom.
Did you observe him?
Well, that's ironic. Welcome back, bud. The only time we were together in court, we're together again, bud. This time, you going to jail.
Being able to get emotional during that closing argument?
Yes, as a couple months ago when we talked and you asked me what kind of lawyer Ellick was, and I told you he was a good lawyer, and one of the things that I think I explained to you was that he was a theatrical type presence in the courtroom, and he could get very emotional doing closing arguments in front of a jury.
All of that is acting. He thought he could take that acting for regular folk who, just want to go back to their lives and do it with SLED agents, do it with the police. That whole little crying thing, he doesn't get emotional during his closing. Or come on. Do you think a man like that gets emotional in closing statements? He manufactures that. He's playing the jury. He's a con man. That's what he is. He's a con man. That's it.
Thank you. Please answer any questions the defense may have.
I hate to go here, but let's talk about hog hunting, which I know nothing about, okay?
You might not want to go there then.
All right, defense's
Been
turn.
here so long, I think I probably do need to learn how to hog hunt. But I guess my first question is this. Did you ever ride Moselle with Alec? Did you ride around Moselle with Alec?
Probably. I know I dove hunted there, so I believe I rode on a Ranger, but I don't ever remember doing much riding with Ellick at Moselle. But I know I dove hunted there, and sure I rode in a Ranger or some type of ATV with Ellick, but I don't have a specific.
Well, when you're riding around dove hunting, you got a gun with you, right?
You would.
Would you take a shotgun to hunt?
Obviously, some
Yes.
bird
Would
shot.
you take an AR weapon too?
No.
No need.
Why?
You're gonna.
I mean, them hogs are out there, right?
Well, they don't usually come in a dove field when you're shooting dove. So I don't know. You just wouldn't, Mr. Harpootlian, typically. I mean,
But daytime, you're riding around the property, you got a shotgun. You got a slug in that shotgun, or are you using bird shot?
Bird.
you would shoot bird shot.
Okay. So if a hog came up, nothing you could do.
If a hog came into a dove field with a bunch of dove hunters,
Well, maybe
they
you're
would
on your
shoot
way.
at him regardless.
Maybe you're on your way to the dove field. The dove field's not right next to the house, is it?
If he came into a duck field with a bunch of hunters, they would shoot at him regardless. That's America right there. I agree with him. I'd shoot my bird shot right at that hog. I really didn't think they were that much of a nuisance, though. That's wild.
It's right within a few hundred yards.
Bordered by the swamp?
The swamp's on one end of it, yeah.
Okay. And where do the hogs live during the day, primarily?
Well, they can live in a swamp, they can live in a bay, it can be anywhere, but largely in the swamp.
The swamp. So a hog could have come out of that swamp,
Yes.
and you were unarmed.
As I said, if a hog came in a dove field near somebody dove hunting, they would probably shot it with bird shot.
Would that kill a hog?
No.
If it was close enough, but unlikely.
It wouldn't kill him.
So you have, in fact, ridden around Moselle without a gun to kill a hog, appropriate gun to kill a hog.
Well, yes, if I was going.
They are dying on this hillside that he wasn't carrying the gun in the first place, bro. Like, you had the gun. Everybody carries the gun around. Like,
Went over to the dove field.
it's
I
a
wouldn't have
protocol.
one.
But you've never ridden as Paul and Alec did that afternoon, just looking at different, like where deer, what do they call them? Where they plant stuff for deer?
Food plots?
Yeah. Or looking around at how these fruit trees were doing. Remember the Snapchat video?
I've never done that with Alec, and that I recall, but I could have in the past, but I don't have a specific recollection.
Or where they planted some corn for, I guess used corn for deer and ducks?
You do, but you don't plant them in the same spot.
No, I get that. One would be near a pond or in a pond or around a pond.
Correct. They had a duck pond.
Right. And then the others would just be out where the deer might come out and try to feed. Right. Look, we don't need to go there.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
Okay. But you've never rode around like that with them, looking at different plantings and that you remember.
I don't have a specific recollection of doing that with Alex.
Okay,
there.
but would you're not telling this jury that they would do that without a blackout?
Whoa. You're fucking my mind right now, bro. Slow down. Jesus, why does his defense feel like it's just falling apart, like crumbling right now? Like I didn't have enough coffee this morning or something.
They could. I mean, would it bother you or offend you or scare you that they're riding around the property during the daytime without the blackout?
No, I was answering questions about what's normal if you were looking for hogs or if we were just riding my property. I mean,
If you're riding the property, you're always going to have an assault type rifle. Paul always had his, 300 blackout. It's very simple mathematics, people. Very simple. This lawyer's going all over the place, stuttering, bumbling, and mumbling, trying to make that fact not a fact. It still exists. Everybody sees it. Try to do something else.
I mean, most people carry a gun, but no, I have no idea what they had with them or what they were doing.
And I think Alec testified they were looking for signs of hogs because you could come back. It'd be a lot easier to find those hogs at night, right? They come out more likely at night than they do during the day.
If you're looking for signs of hogs, that means you're riding the property and you would have the assault rifle with you. Looking for signs of hogs, that's not equivalent to duck hunting. If you're duck hunting, you're not going to carry the AR. If you're just riding the property or specifically looking for signs of hogs, no shit, you're going to have the rifle with you.
They can become nocturnal when they have a lot of pressure, but as I said before, I've shot. We've shot a lot
Plenty of hogs in the
daytime.
day.
You can ride up on them, and yeah.
But has anybody testified they were out looking to shoot hogs that afternoon?
I don't know what all the testimony's been in this trial.
All I'm saying is there seems to be
This is my guy. I don't know what the testimony is. I'm just telling you what the facts are about the hogs. I'm the specialist, the hog hunter, that you just tried to discredit as not an expert, sir.
some implication they would not ride around the property without an AR or some sort of blackout. You can't testify to that, right?
I cannot.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what you heard from Alec the night of June 7th. You would agree with me that, well, let's ask it this way. What your practice is primarily personal injury, is that correct?
It is.
Catastrophic injuries.
Well, I handle a lot of catastrophic injury cases.
Okay.
Cases, for instance, where a husband and wife are riding down the road and hit by a tractor trailer. And by way of example, maybe you could give me something more specific. Husband's killed, wife's severely injured.
Jesus.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, is it your experience in people?
That's his job? Oh my God. Imagine doing legal work with nothing but depression every day. Maybe that's why his face is stuck like that. He's not recalling Alex Murdaugh. He's just recalling every single case he's ever fucking dealt with. Jesus.
People
Not
who
me.
undergo, maybe they're not hurt, but their loved one is hurt, maybe killed. In that situation, that's a traumatic experience for the surviving person, correct? To see their loved one killed?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you sit down with those folks and begin to recount with them what happened that night, oftentimes, I do a little work like you do, oftentimes those folks misremember or get times wrong, or because they went through this very traumatic experience, and the closer to that experience, the more likely they are to get some things wrong. Times, for instance. Is that your experience?
They can, but I also find that people who have been involved in traumatic experiences try to be very accurate with the details, because they know it's important to.
What did I tell you? Like 3 videos ago. What did I tell you? If a traumatic event happens, you're going to remember every single detail of that day. Why? Because it's so important. Every small thing has more meaning because that's what led up to that traumatic event. So yeah, I got ice cream. Then I drove over to my girlfriend's house and she was mad. You'll remember everything because you're going to be replaying that day over and over. So, no, you're going to have more like detail. You're going to even like write things down in notes if you're not guilty.
Me representing them.
And typically you don't go out to the scene of the crime and interview, or the scene of the accident and interview them that night, do you? Typically?
Well, typically you don't, because you don't know it's happened.
Well, sometimes in the old days they used to do that, but they don't do that anymore, right?
That would be very rare.
So you're seeing them in your office weeks later?
It can be days, can be weeks.
Okay. And in that atmosphere, it's a little more conducive to them being as accurate as possible, right?
It is, but oftentimes we also have the benefit of recorded interviews when there's a catastrophic injury. Typically, the highway patrol will try to interview people as quickly as they can, and they will. We oftentimes have it on video off a dash cam or sometimes body cam, but and a lot of times written statements.
And written statements from witnesses who saw it happen.
Correct.
And so when you interview those people, they have the benefit of reviewing whatever you have to help them get a better recollection of what happened, correct?
True. Okay.
That's correct.
I'll give you that.
So
okay, so he's going toward like, oh, Alex didn't really have that benefit. They came to him the same night. They interviewed him the same night. They kept coming back. He didn't have time to review things. But I mean, who cares, bro? If there's small inconsistencies in your story, that's fine. If there's major inconsistencies and everything is wrong, that's when the problem starts. You get me?
the instance you're talking about where Alec told you he turned him over before he made the 911 call, whatever it was, I'm not quite sure.
Why would you lie about all of that? I turned them over? No, you left them there. You didn't check their pulse. You got scared. You ran back to the house. Idiot. Like, he's a lawyer, ladies and gentlemen. He is a lawyer making these decisions. I don't understand.
With what you said. If that would be inconsistent with something he says later on, after having reviewed other people's statements, looking at video, that would not be unusual in your business.
That would be very unusual.
Correct? Strike that.
You're
Strike that.
trying to take me somewhere that you probably don't want to.
No, I think I want to. And the question?
Whoa. Where did that come from? You go, whoa.
Withdraw the question. Let me ask you this question. Maybe this gets to the...
He got scared. He said, withdraw that question. I don't want him to answer it. It's not going to go my way. Yo, Alex, your boy is out here wilding, bro. Your boy is not prepared. I'm just going to say that.
To the meat of matter here. Have you had to come out of pocket to pay back the money he stole?
Yes, and if you,
How much?
So he goes from it wouldn't be unusual for him to fuck up a whole bunch of details now, would it? And then when he gets combative as an answer, oh no, never mind. I don't want you to answer that. Don't answer. Strike it. Let's talk about something completely else to try to throw some more some more smoke and mirrors. Like, gosh, my guy.
Don't tell me you don't know.
well, we're still counting, Mr. Harpootlian.
Well, how much have you paid so far?
We have had to borrow millions to pay back.
No, how much
business
have you
to
had to come out of pocket?
Well, when you borrow it, you got to pay it back, and I couldn't tell you how much has exactly been paid back as of we sit here today. But
10
yes, and if you're implying that I would come in here and somehow shade truth in any way because of that, I would take high offense with that, Mr. Harpootlian.
I would take high offense to that, Mr. Hart. Yeah, I like this guy. I want him as my lawyer, please, if I ever get caught for, a murder charge or something. Not this guy. Oh, my God. This guy would scare me. I would be like, yep, I'm going to jail today.
About your high offense. Are you angry at him for stealing your money?
No shit, he's angry. That doesn't mean it's going to turn him into another Alex Murdaugh. Like, come on. Let me stop pausing.
I have no feeling one way or the other.
You don't have any feeling about Alex Murdaugh betraying you and stealing your money. I admire you. I don't know that I could look beyond that.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection is sustained. There's not a question. The jury is to disregard the argument.
You are not angry with Alex Murdaugh?
I have had anger with him, extreme anger, Mr. Harpootlian, because of what he did to my law firm, my partners, my client, his clients, our clients, what he did to his family, what he's did to so many people.
Oh. We already see where his mind is at, what he did to his family. I don't know if he's talking about the pew pew, but that's a pretty damning statement right there, if I say so myself.
Yes, I experienced a lot of anger, but you can't walk around with anger. You have to find a way to deal with it and move forward, and I have done that. And if you suggest, you are dead wrong if you think I've come in here and told this jury something because of money. When we're talking about two people who were brutally murdered, then you're headed in the wrong direction.
Do you think he did it?
Ooh.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have the benefit of the materials you have.
Well, let me ask you this.
Don't smile, man. Woo! My boy came with the fire. He's invited, bro. He's invited to the cookout. He's out here. Hey, let me get your card, bro. Shit.
Angry with him, stole millions of dollars from your firm. You admit your firm's not even called the Murdaugh firm anymore, right?
Hell
It's
no.
not. I don't admit that I'm angry right now. I told you I've gotten away from that. I don't have any feelings because you can't walk around with anger. I have been very, very angry about it because of what he's done. And he did it in a very callous way, a very deceitful way.
And you carry I'm sorry, maybe I just saw some anger there. Were you angry just a moment ago?
No, you keep trying to push a question and don't want to accept my answer, which is what it is.
That you've just given your Zen, your Nirvana, your whatever the...
Your Honor, objection.
Mr. Harpootlian,
forgiven him?
I came to the scene of these murders to support my partner. I was there. I saw things that hadn't even been talked about in this courtroom. I was there. I love Paul very much. I thought I knew who Alec was. I did not. And it's hard to you might not understand, but it's hard to walk around with anger, and hard to even walk around with it when it's with somebody you didn't know and didn't understand. So you might have be that way, but I've got to function. I've got a family. I got to move on with life.
Were you aware?
Hey, respect. Shout out to him, bro. Shout out to him, because, like, I need to learn that lesson. Like, you know what I mean? Because, holding anger, it eats you away. It's a one-way street to hurting yourself. So, shout out to my boy. Now, does he really live by that? I don't know, but...
Aware that he went to rehab in 2017?
I was not.
Really?
Other than what was said by Alec in this courtroom.
You never were aware he had a drug problem?
I was unaware.
Okay. Sort of.
And if I
There's the star of the show, baby, with the liver spots on the forehead and the pale face and the crinkled jacket. My boy.
would have been known, I would have tried to help him.
Shaking his head.
1:36 a.m.
You indicated that he could be emotional in trying a case, correct?
He could be. He was theatric, much like his father and grandfather had a courtroom theatrics, and he could be emotional.
Any of your other partners that way? Johnny Parker?
No, Johnny's quite the opposite. Johnny's very
Laconic, I believe, is the best way to
yeah.
describe it.
He doesn't show emotion.
Nobody else in your firm was theatric or emotional?
Not to Alec's level.
I feel like he's hurting his case. He's saying how Alec gets emotional in the courtroom. That could be argued that he's disingenuous, that he's playing them. You know what I mean? Like, why are you pushing that question? Aren't you Alex's lawyer? This lawyer sucks, bro.
You don't know any other lawyers in the state that go to that level?
You're asking me a question right now. I don't know. You might yourself. I don't know. I don't know what other lawyers do. I'm usually trying cases against defense attorneys, so I don't get to see plaintiffs' lawyers anymore.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for. Well, let me ask you one last thing. This Bullware guy that he stole all the money from, Mr. Bullware, remember him?
Yes, I remember him.
No
How much
shit,
did
I
he steal
remember
from
him.
Do you remember?
He stole 70-something thousand in June of 2018. Mr. Bulwer died in September, I believe, of 2018, and I believe another 270-something thousand.
Bro, 270,000 from a dead man. He's taking that from his wife, his kids, whoever, his lineage. That dude is crazy. Shit.
After Mr. Bulwer's death, sometime in
I would hate him.
Around
I would
February.
I would never associate with that man ever again in my life. I know he has jail, so you won't have to, but oh my God, never again. And I would let everybody know that he's a scumbag. Holy shit.
Of 2019.
Have you and your partners paid Mr. Bullware's estate or his folks back?
Yes, I met with them personally.
Okay.
Good on you.
Even though it's cost you your firm and it's cost millions of dollars to you, you have forgiven him? You bear him no ill will?
I didn't say I forgave him.
It's not about forgiveness, dog.
I
We're
said I have no
adults.
feelings. And I had to.
We're goddamn adults, okay? It ain't about forgiveness. It's about moving on and not killing them for doing that. You feel me? If that's happening, then we're good.
Work on that, Mr. Harpootlian. You know, when you go through what we've gone through, not only the trauma of losing people we loved in a double homicide, seeing the aftermath, and then learning that someone you've worked with for more than 20 years had been stealing throughout a period of time and deceiving us, there's a lot of emotion there. And yes, it was bad in the fall of 2021, and I have found a way to have no feelings. It's not forgiveness. It's just I don't have
You're not
any
angry
feelings.
here today. You're not angry at him at all.
I'm not angry. If I raise my voice, it's only because of the implication that you were trying to.
Exactly, bro. I'm a big dog lawyer. That's what he's saying, bro. I'm an expert hunter and I'm a big dog. You can't hit me with these bullshit questions. I'm gonna let the jury know what you're trying to do. And he did such a good job. Not gonna lie. Oh, so are you angry? You're getting angry right now. No, stupid. I'm getting angry at you for lying on my name. That's what he's getting angry for.
The implication that you might not want to help him in front of this jury here today because let me finish the question. Because he destroyed your firm. He stole millions of dollars you had to pay back. He deceived you. All that's away and is not influencing your testimony here today at all.
No.
If you'd answer that yes or no, then you can explain.
All those things happened, and it does not influence my testimony. I take the oath that I just took very seriously.
Yep.
And if you've got any indication that anything I said was inaccurate, I'll be glad to address it with you.
Well, the jury can judge that. Thank you.
Well, the jury can judge that. Thank you. Man, he crushed old boy back there. Fumbling and mumbling and bumbling all over the place into a L. Took a big L. Man, that was good. That was good. Anyways, y'all, stay safe, man. Watch your friends, man. Watch your friends. Watch your family. Be careful out there, you know. Stay inside. Do some soul searching. Be happy with yourself. You know what I mean? Don't try to rely on too many people, because that shit will get you killed in however way. You don't have to get shot. It'll get you killed somehow. You feel me? And it'll get your family and your whole lineage destroyed. Man, stay safe, y'all. Until the next one, I will see you later.